Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the NBA slate on Draftkings for Thursday, February the 2nd. We got a 7-game Thursday slate, so another decent-sized slate for today. As always guys, we're going to go game by game. We're going to give a quick breakdown of this 7-game slate, kind of my early thoughts on this, what stands out, taking a first look at this slate on Wednesday night. But before we do get started with the breakdown, as always, if you guys do enjoy these DFS videos and if they do help you out, please hit that like button down below. I always appreciate the likes. And if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button as well. Also, go check out PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the sponsor of this video. If you guys have never signed up for PrizePicks before, you can sign up with my promo code Noah. If you look at the bottom of the screen, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And for those of you that have never heard about PrizePicks, they're a player prop site, so it's really simple and easy to use. You're just taking more or less on a player's projection. And as you can see, they do already have a good amount of projections posted for Thursday's games. You can see the points props they have up right now. They have rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, assists. They have a ton of different categories. Obviously, as we get closer to the start of the games on Thursday, there will be even more props available. And again, you just take more or less. If you have a lean one way or the other, you have to make at least 2 picks. But you can make up to 6 picks, and you can win up to 25x your money on PrizePicks. So definitely, sign up, guys. Use that promo code Noah. When you do sign up, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. And I do want to give a shout out to PrizePicks. They have another free square available. This is available for the Super Bowl, which is obviously next Sunday. So you have plenty of time to get this in, but they do have Patrick Mahomes passing yards set at 0.5. This is a free pick that PrizePicks is giving you, and you just have to find any other pick you like to pair with that free square. It can be NFL, it can be NBA. On PrizePicks, you can mix and match sports. So yeah, another reason to sign up for PrizePicks. Got a free square available for the Super Bowl, which again will be available until Sunday or next Sunday when the Super Bowl does start. But let's go ahead and talk through Thursday's 7-game slate. We'll start off with the first game of the night, the Lakers and the Pacers. So some big news to watch in this one. On the Lakers side, LeBron is actually listed as questionable for this game. Now, I think LeBron is probably going to play here, but it is worth noting he is questionable. They've had back-to-back overtime games, so he's been playing a lot of minutes lately. But I'm expecting LeBron to be in, and then Anthony Davis is probable, so he is expected to play. Obviously, LeBron is, I think, 89 points away from passing the all-time scoring record, so he needs probably, 3 more games for LeBron to break that record, and I think they play Thursday against Indiana. Then they play at home, I think, against I don't know who they play at home. And then they play against the Bucks at home. And I think that's when LeBron probably wants to try and break the record, is when they play the Bucks at home. And obviously, if he were to break it, in that game, he would need to score maybe 30 points in this game, 30 points next game, and then he would need 30 points the next game to break the record potentially. But yeah, I expect LeBron to play. With Anthony Davis back, I think that hurts LeBron a little bit, but the last 2 games, LeBron has still gone out there and produced. He's put up over 60 DraftKings points in back-to-back games. He had a triple-double last game against the Knicks. This Pacers team, they don't have anyone to slow down LeBron here, so I don't have an issue going to LeBron. His price tag, it did come down a little bit. And then Anthony Davis, I like quite a bit. So Anthony Davis is pretty much back to playing full minutes. Now, last game against the Knicks was an overtime game, but he still played 32 minutes in regulation, 37 minutes for the full game. He's now played 34 and 37 minutes in their last 2 games. The Pacers have been getting killed by bigs this season. They've been giving up a lot of production to centers, and we know when he's healthy, Anthony Davis is a very productive, permanent producer. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. He's actually a better point per minute player this season than LeBron in terms of his fantasy points per minute. So really like Anthony Davis here. I think it's a really good spot for him. The $9,900 salary looks pretty appealing, and I think his ownership might be a little bit low for today. I don't expect a ton of people to pay up for AD, so I really like AD in tournaments. I think LeBron is fine as well. But that's pretty much it for the Lakers. I don't really see anything else on the Lakers I'm loving. Do want to mention that last game, Rui Hachimura did start, and he played a lot of minutes, played 40 minutes with the overtime. If Rui continues to start, he's 5,100 now, so he's not super cheap, but it seems like he's going to play about 30, 32 minutes if he's starting, maybe more if he's playing well. He played really well last game, was pretty productive, so I don't mind Rui at 5,100. He probably would be my next favorite Laker behind the 2 studs, but that'll do it for the Lakers. Let's talk about the Pacers now. And for the Pacers today, Tyrese Haliburton, I think, is expected to play. He's listed as questionable, but their coach came out and said that he's planning on him playing. Now, Haliburton has been out for almost a month, so I'm expecting him to be on a minutes limit. He's been out with, I think it's been, He's been out with a knee injury, so coming back from a knee injury, I think Haliburton's going to be limited, so I don't expect him to really be viable for DFS. And with Halliburton back, that makes guys like Miles Turner, Buddy Hield look less appealing. TJ McConnell pretty much out of play now. Mathurin, all these guys are pretty unappealing now that Halliburton's back. Like maybe Miles Turner I could see playing still. I think this matchup against AD is fine. He did have a really good game against the Lakers earlier this season. With Halliburton back, I don't think that hurts Turner like too much. I think Turner can still put up a big game here, even without Halliburton or even with Halliburton back. So I don't mind him at 7,300. If I had to play anyone on the Pacers, he'd probably be the first guy I would look to. But with Halliburton expected to play, a lot of these Pacers look overpriced, even in kind of a good matchup against the Lakers. So yeah, let's talk about the next game, Memphis and Cleveland. Memphis on a back-to-back today, so we're going to have to monitor their injury report. Desmond Bane was questionable for Wednesday's game. He ultimately wound up playing. We can maybe see him rest here. I don't think anyone else would rest from Memphis, but this will be something to keep an eye on. John Morant has been absolutely crushing lately. He had another massive game on Wednesday against Portland. He had almost had another triple-double. He was going for 3 triple-doubles in a row. He needed one more rebound, but he had 63 DK points. He had 72 the game before that. Like Ja's been playing great lately. The matchup against Cleveland, I don't love, but I think Ja's a matchup-proof player and can put up a huge game any night. So I still think he's an okay pay-up option. But like Bane and Triple J against Cleveland, I'll probably pass on these guys where they're priced at. Brandon Clark actually came off the bench on Wednesday. I don't know if that's something that will happen again or if that was like just kind of, if that's a permanent move or what. But they actually did start Xavier Tillman on Wednesday. Tillman played 28 minutes and was pretty productive, had 31 DK points. Now, Clark did get into some foul trouble. Tillman got into some early foul trouble as well. But if Tillman is starting, I think he is the center that I would rather target here. The matchup against Cleveland is not great, but Tillman is a pretty decent permanent producer, and I'd assume if he starts, he's playing like at least 24, 25 minutes. He's still fairly cheap on DraftKings at 4,200, so I like Tillman if he starts again. If he doesn't start and they go with Clark, I think Clark at 5,800 is a viable option as well. But that's pretty much it from Memphis. And then on the Cleveland side, I don't see a ton I'm loving on Cleveland here. Donovan Mitchell at 8,100 feels priced about right. I think this spot against Memphis is fine. But, where Mitchell's priced at, he's not a priority play. He's probably my favorite play from Cleveland, though. Like Garland at 7,800 is okay, but I think I'd rather go to Mitchell if I was going to play one of the two guards. Mobley is 7K, Allen 6,300. The matchup against Memphis without Steven Adams, it's not nearly as bad for a guy like Jared Allen, but I think on this slate, there's just other center plays I prefer over Jared Allen, but I don't mind Jared Allen here. But again, Cleveland, not a team I'm super interested in here. Favorite play from Cleveland's probably Donovan Mitchell if I had to play anyone on this team. But let's move on to the next game, Miami and the Knicks. So we'll start off on the Knicks side. This Knicks team, they're pretty straightforward. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Manuel Quickley. These are going to be the guys playing a lot of the minutes. Last game, they actually didn't close with Barrett. They closed with Quickley over Barrett. Don't know if that's something that we'll see happen a lot. So I would expect Barrett to get back to playing his normal minutes. Randle and Brunson, they're going to play a ton. The usage is going to be dominated by these two guys, but the matchup against Miami is not the best. Again, though, if this game's competitive, you're getting 38, 40 minutes from Randle, 38, 40 minutes from Brunson. When they're playing that many minutes, they have upside. I just don't think in this spot I'm really going to be going out of my way to play either one. I think Barrett at 6,300 is okay, but again, he did not close last game. He only played 27 minutes. That's a little bit concerning, but I would think most nights Barrett's going to play low 30s minutes, maybe mid to high 30s most likely. So he's still fine at 6,300. And then Quickley's been playing pretty well off the bench. He played 39 minutes last game, was really productive. At 5,400, he's still, I think, cheap enough to where he's a viable option. I wouldn't expect 39 minutes. Obviously, overtime kind of helped him last game, but I would expect probably 26 to 28. And if he gets 26, 28 minutes, we've seen Quickley be able to produce in that time. So I think Quickley's okay. The bigs I'm probably going to avoid here. Jericho Sims has been starting, but he's not been playing a ton. Hartenstein came off the bench and crushed last game. Maybe they start Hartenstein. If they start Hartenstein, I would really like him for value, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're probably just going to keep going with Jericho Sims. Probably just going to avoid the Knicks bigs here, especially in a tough matchup against Miami, who's been really tough defensively for centers. That's going to do it for the Knicks. And then on the Miami side, Bam is 7,900. Butler 7,400, Hero 6,700. Looking at these three guys, I think my favorite play here probably going to continue to be Jimmy Butler just because the $7,400 salary, his price tag keeps coming down. And I know his production lately, the game log is not the prettiest, but he did have 49 DK points against Orlando, had 44 against Charlotte. He's been playing pretty good minutes. Matchup against the Knicks, I think, is fine. He's going to play big minutes here if this game's competitive. And 7,400, I mean, the price tag on Jimmy just continues to go down. I feel like at some point he's going to have like a really big game and be like probably a winning GPP play. This could be the slate where that finally happens. So of all the Heat guys, Jimmy's probably my favorite, then Bam, and then Hero. Lowry is so cheap, but he's just been terrible. I don't know what's going on with Kyle Lowry, but the dude just like sucks right now. Last game he put up 14 DK points in 24 minutes. He's been playing like okay minutes, but he's not been playing like super high minutes. I mean, he's yet to get over 30 minutes in like 7 straight games. So I'm probably just going to pass on Lowry. I know he seems really cheap, but man, the dude's just been so terrible lately. I feel like he's going to have a good game at some point, but like good luck guessing when that happens. The rest of Miami, I'm going to pass on here. So that'll do it for that game. Next game is Charlotte and Chicago. Start off on the Charlotte side. LaMelo Ball just, continues to put up huge games when he's healthy and when he's playing normal minutes. He played 40 minutes last game against Milwaukee, had 72 DK points, had a triple-double. He kind of struggled against Miami and against Chicago. The game against Houston he got injured in, but man, a lot of the games this season where Charlotte have been able to keep games competitive, you're seeing LaMelo play massive minutes. If this game stays close against the Bulls, which I think it can, you're probably going to get close to 37, 38 minutes from LaMelo. He took 26 shots last game. We know he's a guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet. Even if he has kind of an off shooting night, he can still get you a ton of rebounds, a ton of assists. He can get defensive stats as well. So I definitely like LaMelo in tournaments at 9,600. He's probably my favorite play on Charlotte. Terry Rozier at 7,300 is okay. I think with LaMelo back, his upside is not as high. A lot of his good games lately have come without LaMelo, but I still think Rozier is okay at 7,300. Plumlee's been super productive this season, but his price tag has gotten to a point where I don't think he really stands out. Same go for PJ Washington. Gordon Hayward's minutes have kind of been trending up. He got 27 last game. He's slowly been seeing more minutes each game. He's only 5,300 as well, so we'll have to wait and see what kind of value opens up on the slate. But if we don't get any value on the slate, I don't mind Gordon Hayward as a value. He's probably going to play like 28, 30 minutes here. Hayward's not the greatest per minute producer, but he's not the worst either. He's cheap enough that I think he is viable on this slate. That'll do it though for Charlotte. I think nothing else really stands out here. I know Mark Williams has had some big games off the bench lately, but probably not going to go there on a 7-game slate. I think we'll have just better value. Now on the Chicago side, looking at the Bulls, so Vooch is in a really good spot here. Charlotte this season has been getting killed by bigs. Surprisingly, when these two teams played recently, Vooch really struggled, only had 25 DK points through 35 minutes. But again, like Charlotte, they've been a bad rebounding team. They're giving up a ton of fantasy points to centers. Of all the Chicago guys, Vooch, DeRozan, Levine, I think Vooch is probably my favorite. I would probably rank them how they're priced. Vooch first, then DeRozan, then Levine. Don't mind the spot for DeRozan. Charlotte, I don't think really has anyone defensively that can stop DeRozan here. Just, the ceiling on DeRozan, it never feels like he goes out there and wins you a slate. Most nights it feels like he's going to put up like 40, 45 DK points, which at his salary, 45 DK points is not bad, but that's not like winning you a GPP. I feel like Vooch is the guy that can get you like 50 plus. So again, I think I would rather go to Vooch over DeRozan. Levine at his price tag, I don't really have a ton of interest in. And the rest of the Bulls, I don't love. I mean, Patrick Williams is cheap. I liked him the other day just because there was not a ton of value on that slate. We'll have to, again, see what kind of value opens up today. If no value opens up today, I don't mind Patrick Williams for value. He's 5K, probably going to play 30, 32 minutes. Matchup against Charlotte, it's pretty good. Last time they played Charlotte, he played 32 minutes, had 26 DK points. Not a guy that's going to go out there and win you the slate, but if he can get you 25, 30 DK points at his price tag, that could be good enough, depending on what kind of value opens up, if there is any value that opens up today. And then that's really it for Chicago. I'm not really targeting Caruso or Io here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game, the Pelicans and the Mavericks. So we'll start off on the Dallas side. Luka, 12-3, really expensive, but obviously Luka's going to have a massive role, going to play massive minutes, put up a huge game against Detroit last game, 75 DK points, played 36 minutes. Matchup here against the Pelicans, not nearly as good. The Pelicans do have a lot of strong defenders, but Luka's been great against the Pelicans so far this season. I never mind paying up for Luka. Right now, not a priority for me just because there's not a ton of value and it's kind of tough to get him in. But again, we'll have to wait and see if we get any value today. The rest of Dallas, Dinwiddie overpriced now that Luka's back. Same goes for Tim Hardaway Jr. Dorian Finney-Smith, not a guy that I really ever play. He's just not that exciting of an option. And then Dwight Powell is going to continue to start while Christian Wood's out. But Dwight Powell, not the best per minute producer. Probably a guy that I just pass on today, even though he is kind of cheap. Luka, for sure, my favorite play from Dallas. And then on the Pelicans side, still no Zion for the Pelicans. They do have Brandon Ingram back, though. He's played their last few games. CJ McCollum's 7,600. Ingram is 7,100. I think between these two guys, I might prefer Brandon Ingram here. Ingram's minutes have been trending up lately. He got 33 minutes last game. I think he's pretty much going to play full minutes here if this game's competitive, 34, 35 minutes. And Brandon Ingram does lead the team in usage this season with Zion off the floor. So I expect a big role for Brandon Ingram. I expect him to be productive when he's on the floor. His minutes are going up. His price tag is coming down. I think this is definitely a spot to target Brandon Ingram. He's probably my favorite Pelican. I don't mind CJ McCollum either, but I would definitely prefer Ingram over him for cheaper. J-Val's really cheap. His minutes have just been all over the place lately, though. Last game only played 19. He didn't even close. They've been playing Larry Nance at the 5 a lot lately. Look, J-Val's one of these guys that when he gets the minutes, he can be productive, but like now that they have Larry Nance, fully healthy, I don't know, like, do they want to even play J-Val a ton? It doesn't seem like it. I think it's gonna be all matchup dependent for J-Val. There's gonna be some matchups they elect to play him. There's gonna be some they don't. This matchup feels like you probably don't need J-Val out there, so like, yeah, not gonna go to J-Val, I don't think. Larry Nance will play a lot as the backup 5. Last game played 21 minutes. He's been productive in the minutes he's gotten. As a value play, it's not terrible. Like, I think Larry Nance is okay, but price tag is coming up. He's not a standout value by any means, but I think if I had to play a Pelicans big, I might choose Larry Nance here, but I'm probably just going to be avoiding, the bigs in general from the Pelicans. And then like Herb Jones had a good game last game, but I really don't want to chase that. He's been a very low usage and bad permanent producer this season. The Trey Murphys, Najee Marshall, these guys I'm not going to. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game, Golden State and Denver. So this is going to be one to talk about. Golden State on the second night of a back-to-back. I think I saw someone, I can't remember who tweeted out, but someone tweeted that Denver was favored by 9.5. And I'm going to try and pull up the Vegas odds real quick if they're available. I don't know if I'll be able to get them since it's the night before, but if Denver is favored by 9.5, that could suggest that Golden State could be resting some guys here. We've seen Golden State rest guys on back-to-backs a lot lately. Golden State played in an overtime game on Thursday or on Wednesday, so there's definitely a good chance you see Steph, Clay, Draymond, maybe Wiggins all sit today. And obviously if that happens, there's going to be a ton to target from Golden State. Now, since I'm making this video the night before, we really don't have any of that news, so we're just kind of guessing right now. I think for now we just kind of have to expect everyone to play. We do know, though, that Klay Thompson will be out. Klay Thompson has yet to play a back-to-back this season, so I'm expecting Klay to sit. With Klay most likely sitting, that probably means Kevon Looney will move back into the starting lineup. So, Kevon Looney definitely gets a little bit of a bump here, assuming that, he plays this game. He usually plays every game, even back-to-backs. He would definitely become viable. Steph in this matchup against Denver, I like quite a bit if he plays. Denver has been a good matchup for point guards. Steph's been playing huge minutes lately. His role's been great. He's been stuffed in the stat sheet. 10-2, not too expensive for Steph, so I'm definitely interested in Steph. And obviously, without Klay, I think he takes on an even bigger role. I think Jordan Poole's going to take on a bigger role without Klay, so I definitely have some interest in Jordan Poole at 6,500. Draymond at 6,400 is okay, but I think, if they go back to starting Kevon Looney at center, I think that does hurt Draymond. I'm not as interested in Draymond if he's not starting at the 5. Wiggins at 5,800 is fine with Klay probably sitting, but I don't love Wiggins at this price tag. And that's pretty much it from Golden State. I think Dante DiVincenzo gets a little bit of a boost as well. But right now, we'll have to wait and see with the Warriors, because on the second night of a back-to-back, given that Denver's favored by like 9 right now, supposedly, I think there's a very good chance you'll see Golden State rest their guys today. We'll have to wait and see, though. Now, on the Denver side, looking at the Nuggets here, Nikola Jokic, is a pay-up option. I think is fine here. I mean, Jokic is a guy that I always have interest in. He's always got a massive ceiling. Surprisingly, I think Golden State has done a decent job kind of limiting Jokic. When they played earlier this season, he had 58 DK points, so like not a true ceiling game, but still not bad. At 11-3, he is coming in discounted off a guy like Luka, and obviously Jokic has just as much upside as Luka, if not more upside. So I definitely think Jokic is in play today at 11-3. If Golden State rests their guys, that's a little concerning just because there's obviously a lot of blowout risk if that happens, but I still think Jokic would be viable. Jamal Murray is 7,700, feels priced about right. Aaron Gordon, I think, is questionable for this game, so this will be something to monitor. If Gordon doesn't play, a little bit more usage for Jokic and Murray and MPJ. Jokic is the guy I still like the most from Denver, but Murray and MPJ would look a little bit more appealing if Gordon were to get ruled out. Maybe Bruce Brown would play a little bit more. I think he'd be an okay value at 4,700. But right now, Jokic is the priority play from Denver today. So that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the last game of the night, the Clippers and the Bucks. So starting off on the Bucks side, looking at Milwaukee here, Giannis I believe is probable for this game, so Giannis is expected to play. Look, against the Clippers, I don't think this is like the best spot for Giannis. I think the Clippers do have some strong defenders, Kawhi, PG, that can do their best to slow down Giannis. But at this point, Giannis is matchup proof. He can put up a huge game any night. I will say that for a 7-game slate, like this slate is kind of star-studded. We have Luka, we have Giannis, we have Jokic, LeBron, Ja, Curry. There's a lot of guys to pay up for today. I would say I would probably put Giannis behind Jokic, and I think it'd be really close between him and Luka. I never have an issue paying up for Giannis. It's just that I think on this slate, there's some other guys I would rather target. The rest of Milwaukee, though, like I don't really like much, anything else on the Bucks. Drew Holiday, 8,300, feels priced correctly right now. Same with Brook Lopez. Pat Connaughton's price tag has been coming up. He's been playing pretty well lately, but now that he's 5,200, I think I'll probably pass on Connaughton here at 5,200. The one guy, though, that kind of looks appealing is Chris Middleton. So I don't know when the Bucks are going to give him full minutes, but they've just slowly been increasing his minutes. So you look since he came back from injury, 15, 15, 15, 18, 20. So he's been playing limited minutes off the bench. I think at some point Middleton is going to move back into the starting lineup. Whenever that happens, I think that could indicate that maybe he's going to play full minutes. Man, even if we're getting like 24 minutes from Middleton off the bench, I expect Middleton to have pretty good usage playing with the second unit. So at 5K, we'll have to see what kind of value we get today, but if there's no value on this slate, I don't mind Chris Middleton as a value play, even though he's probably going to be limited. I think that the price tag is cheap enough that where he can pay off this price tag in 22, 24 minutes. Again, especially if he's playing with the second unit a lot, he should be really productive kind of, running the second unit. So I do have some interest in Middleton at 5K. If he winds up starting by some chance, then I think Middleton would be a great value if he winds up starting. That would definitely indicate that he's in line to play more minutes. The rest of the Bucks, though, Grayson Allen, Joe Ingles, I'll pass on these guys. So that'll do it for Milwaukee. And then start talking about the Clippers. So you got Kawhi at 9,800. You got PG at 9K. Look, Kawhi's been playing out of his mind lately, been playing massive minutes as well. Matchup against Milwaukee here, I don't love, but Kawhi's just on another level right now. So I have no issue going to Kawhi. I think I would rather go to like Steph and Ja and probably Luka. Like there's other guys I think I'd rather pay up for today, but Kawhi's fine. PG's fine as well, but if I had to choose between one of PG or Kawhi, I think I would rather go to Kawhi. And then the rest of the Clippers, like Norman Powell, Zubac, I'm just going to pass on these guys. Marcus Morris is questionable, but even if he sits, like I don't really think that opens up any value. Nicholas Batum would probably start, but Batum is like a very low usage player, not a guy that I ever get excited to roster. So if I'm looking to any Clippers today, it's going to be Kawhi and PG, and Kawhi's probably my favorite play on the Clippers. So that'll do it, guys, for this little 7-game Thursday slate. This looks like a fun slate. There's a lot of appealing games tonight. There's definitely some, there's a lot of studs in play on this slate. A lot of stars are playing tonight. So this should be a fun one. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, this breakdown. I hope it did help. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, if you're new to the channel, if you've never checked out PrizePicks before, PrizePicks is the sponsor of this video. Take advantage of that Patrick Mahomes free square that is available all the way up until next Sunday for the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes passing yards set at 0.5, a free pick PrizePicks is giving you. You just have to find any other pick you like to pair with that, whether it's NFL or NBA. You can make a 2-pick entry, or you can make up to a 6-pick entry. You can win up to 25x your money on PrizePicks. If you're not signed up over there, use that code NOAH. When you sign up, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks as always for watching the videos, supporting the content. Appreciate you guys a ton. We will see you in the next one. Peace.